What if I told you that a book revealed over 1400 years ago contains scientific facts that we are only discovering today? From the silent expansion of the universe to the hidden internal waves of the deep abyss. From the extraterrestrial origin of iron to the biological secrets of the human womb. In this video, we are not just talking about religion. We are diving deep into the intersection of faith and modern science. Stay with me as we explore 5 undeniable cosmic miracles of the Quran that are challenging the greatest minds of our time. Are you ready to see the world through a different lens? Let's begin. For centuries, the greatest minds in science believed the universe had no beginning. They thought it was static, eternal, and unchanging. But in the 7th century, the Quran challenged this entire worldview. In Surah Al-Anbiya, Allah asks, "Have those who disbelieved not considered that the heavens and the earth were a joined entity, and we separated them?" This joined entity perfectly describes what scientists now call the singularity before the Big Bang. The separation of the heavens and the earth is the very definition of the birth of our universe. But the miracle does not stop at the beginning. In Surah Ad-Dariyat, Allah says, "And the heaven we constructed with strength, and indeed, we are its expander." The use of the word expander in a continuous sense is a linguistic miracle. It wasn't until 1929 that Edwin Hubble observed the redshift of galaxies, proving that every second, the universe is stretching further into the void. How could a man in the desert, 1,400 years ago, describe the most complex discovery of modern astrophysics? This is a clear sign that the author of the Quran is the same as the creator of the stars. Humans have always feared the deep ocean, calling it a place of mystery and darkness. Even today, we have better maps of the moon than we do of the deep ocean floor. Yet, the Quran gives us a description that seems like it was written by a modern oceanographer. In Surah An-Nur, Allah describes the darkness of the deep sea. He speaks of a deep sea which is covered by waves, upon which are waves, over which are clouds. Notice the phrase, waves, upon which are waves. Until recently, we only knew about the waves on the surface of the water. But science has now discovered internal waves that occur deep below the surface. These waves happen at the boundaries between layers of water with different temperatures and densities. They are invisible to the eye, yet they are powerful and massive. Furthermore, the Quran mentions layers of darkness so thick that if a man puts out his hand, he cannot see it. We now know that at 200 meters, photosynthesis stops, and at 1,000 meters, light is completely gone. Who told the Prophet Muhammad (PBUH) about the internal waves and the absolute darkness of the abyss? At a time when no human had ever dived more than 20 meters deep. To the naked eye, mountains are just massive piles of rock sitting on the earth's surface. But the Quran uses a very specific word to describe them: pegs, or stakes. In Surah An-Naba, Allah asks, "Have we not made the earth a resting place and the mountains as stakes?" In any construction, a stake or a peg has a small part above the ground and a large part driven deep into the earth. It was only with the development of the theory of plate tectonics that we understood the truth. Mountains have deep roots that extend far into the Earth's crust. Mount Everest, for example, has a route that goes down more than 125 miles. These roots act as anchors, providing stability to the Earth's crust as it floats on the molten mantle. Geologists call this isostasy. The Quran also mentions that mountains prevent the Earth from shaking with us. This describes the role of mountains in stabilizing the continental plates. How could an ancient text identify the hidden, underground structure of the Earth's crust? Iron is one of the most essential elements for human civilization and life itself. It is in our buildings, our cars, and even in our blood. But iron is not a native element of Earth. In Surah Al-Hadid, Allah says, "And we sent down iron, in which is great military might and benefits for the people." The word used is anzalna, which literally means, we sent down, or we brought down. Modern science tells us that the Earth's core was never hot enough to produce iron. Iron can only be formed in massive stars far larger than our Sun, during a supernova explosion. When these stars explode, they blast iron into space, which eventually falls onto planets as meteorites. So, every piece of iron on this planet was literally sent down from outer space. The Quran's choice of words is scientifically perfect. It identifies the extraterrestrial origin of one of our most important metals. The Quran is a book that does not fear science. It invites it. It is a book that tells us to observe, to travel, and to think. These signs in space, in the oceans, and in our own bodies are not there by accident. They are a divine signature, left for a generation that values logic and evidence. If this book was written by a human in the 7th century, these facts would be impossible. But if it is a message from the creator of the universe, then everything makes sense. The question is not whether the Quran is true. The question is, are we ready to listen to what it has to say? Open your mind, search for the truth, and you will find the way.